Hey guys, Professor Hughes here. If you're a business person, then you know you have costs to deal with. And I run my house like a business as well. I do own an English school, but I do also make sure that my income is obviously more than my outgoing costs, okay? So what I do often is I take my gas costs, my electric costs, and I create graphs for them. Actually, I wind up plugging them into Excel spreadsheets. It's a lot easier. But here today, I'm going to show you guys how I developed a graph that will indicate for me the average daily cubic meter usage of gas and what my final monthly bill would look like. So enjoy the presentation, like, subscribe, share, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye. I have a gas meter and I kind of wanted to know the average daily cubic meter usage and what would my bill look like as I'm rolling along, okay? So this is the function. It's 330x plus 95. And how do I get to that? All right, well, it's a linear function, so it's not going to do any weird curves on me. It's going to go straight line. And I have some fixed costs. The transmission in the line is 82 pesos a month. And I do have a variable amount here. This is the cost per cubic meter. And currently, we're up to 9.36 pesos per cubic meter, okay? I also have another variable. That's the daily use of cubic meters. Now that's really the variable I want to concentrate on, so I'm going to call that X. Now, as the variable changes, my constant's going to change, or maybe I should call it the slope, okay? And we also have a variable added tax here in Mexico, so that's 16%. So let's take a look at how that's going to work out, all right? So the next step here is I take my 82 fixed cost and I simply add it times my cost per X. All right, and then I have to multiply that whole spiel by the 16% VAT. Multiplying by percents is essentially taking that number, which is 1, and then multiplying by 0.16. So I'm going to distribute the 1.16 across those parentheses. And I'm going to come up with 9512 plus 10.86x. Now, if I left it there, I would have my cost per month. So if I had my total x value, let's say I used 45 cubic meters, multiply by 10.86, and then add that 95.12 fixed cost. But that's not what I want. I wanted a daily average use. So, how many days in the average month? Well, 365 days a year divided by 12 gives me 30.4 days in a month on average. I'm not looking for exacts. I kind of need to budget. So if I'm within 50 to 100 pesos, then I'm in good shape. So I do multiply the slope, 10.86, by that 30.4 to get my daily, which is 330. So that is my new slope, if you will. It's pretty steep, but since you're going to notice that I'm going to, when I build the graph, I'm going to build essentially hundreds on the y-axis and singles on the x-axis. So the slope isn't going to be super steep if I went 1 to 1. All right. So what I'm going to do is now I have my average meters per day. So I have my 330. If I had 1 meter per day, that's 330 plus 95. So I'd be looking at a bill of 425 pesos. Tax included, the whole thing. All right. So here's my graph. You're going to notice I have pesos on the y-axis going from my fixed cost of 95.12. All right. I just decided to start the graph there. Why go all the way to 0? I don't need it. It's not going to affect me. And then I go by hundreds. So I have almost 100 there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 where the dollars or the peso sign is, 9, and 1,000. Then on the x-axis, I have my average cubic meters per day. So my final function is any number I put as an x we'll go ahead and multiply by 330 plus 95. So to find my slope, I went ahead and took two numbers, which essentially is 330 plus 95. That's the first point. And then I needed a second one. Well, I didn't need a second one. I used the second one because I did have the origin, or very close to it, the 95.12. All right, I did truncate the 12 cents, and I did truncate the decimal after the 330. Now, that 330 slope is going to change if I have a fluctuation in the gas price per cubic meter per month, all right? But this is essentially how you do these things. So let's go ahead and take a quick measurement. Let's say I used 1 3/4 liters. You just go up to the line, then you take that line over. I'm eyeballing it. It looks to be about 680 pesos. All right, so if I take my 1.75 daily use times 330 plus 95, I wind up with 672.5. I said 680 on just a guess. That leaves me with 7.5 pesos. That's less than a soda pop. So again, just a real quick visual, and I can go ahead and find any amount of monthly payment along this graph as the average cubic meter usage per day. Quod erat demonstratum, guys. Like, subscribe, share if you like these kind of videos, or you want me to show you how to find formulas and graph something, maybe in your business life, employee hire to fire ratios, and or you have electric costs. These are things business people would use constantly just to kind of eyeball. And so we'll go ahead and leave you with that. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll talk to you again soon.